Hello and welcome to the St Kilda and Bayside report. We're wrapping up June. It is July.
It is Gary.
I'm Gary Peer.
I'm Jeremy Rosens.
You are indeed Jeremy Rosens. Mr St Kilda and surrounds. What's going on the market?
Living the dream, Gary. The market's actually surprisingly holding up quite firmly and well.
It is, isn't it? And it's funny because I was in Sydney a couple of weeks ago talking to Sydney
agents. On another
agents.
holiday, Gary?
No, on a fact-finding mission.
Yes.
That's a commitment I'm prepared to make for the business.
Does Phil know that that's a tax deduction? And
well,
that
I'm not
came
sure.
out of
I'm not sure. He doesn't have to know everything. Anyway, but that...
Lucky he doesn't watch the show then, isn't it?
Exactly right, just as well. But I've got to say that, property prices have become very much unchanged there.
Yep.
And they're very much unchanged here as well.
Absolutely.
So it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, the stock market's high, interest rates are low, property still is good. If you've got a job, and when I'm not downplaying the difficulties people are facing in this extraordinary, unprecedented time, but if you're actually okay with your employment and you've got a deposit, you're in a good position to buy. If you can find something, Jeremy, there's no stock out there.
And therein lies the tail of the tape, Gary. This is a market that, to me, is driven by stock levels, as well as confidence.
Yep.
But stock levels are low, and
very low indeed.
The depth of interest that we're getting, and we're seeing it at auctions with multiple bidders, is testament to the fact that we are craving. The buying public is craving more stock, Gary.
Craving it.
Craving it.
Keen and craving.
They are indeed.
How about the weather, by the way? It's for winter. It's stunningly beautiful and sunny, isn't it?
Gary, it is if you wake up when you wake up, and I say that with the greatest of respect because
no
frost
on the lawn.
7.
There's no frost on the lawn when I'm up.
Yeah, there was certainly icicles on the lawn this morning at about, a couple of days ago at least, when it was 5:45.
Yeah.
When the bird started to chirp and then choked on the ice.
5:45 is
there's only 5:45 in your life, man. It's PM.
It's 5:45 a.m. The last time I saw that was I stayed out a bit too late, but I don't think that's the time for me. But then again, if you want to meet with me at 10:30, 11 o'clock, have a meeting any time, I'm up for it.
Yeah, and you know what happens to me at past 8:30, Gary?
You turn to a pumpkin, don't you?
Batten down the hatches.
Shall we talk about some of the things that are going on in the area? Firstly, I had a walk down Ackland Street last night, late last night. There's still some restaurants open, there's people out there, things are happening, there's life, it's cold, but there's still stuff going on. So
you
people
can't
are still
slow
tuned
St
in.
Kilda down, Gary.
No, you just can't. It refuses to slow down.
That's correct.
Things have been selling. Good weekend last weekend. I know we had that auction in Addison Street in Elwood. That was very competitive, wasn't it?
It was an exciting auction, and I'm
auctioneer
loath to say this on camera,
but you're going to.
But I am going to, because I feel that we probably may have broken a law, Gary. Because I did a head count and we had bidders registered, which didn't amount to 20, but I have a sneaking suspicion there was more than 20 people there.
Yeah, well, you just can't do that. You've got to be careful.
What do you do there, Gary? What do you tell people to go home?
You've got to have registered bidders only.
And we had that. We separated them.
Yeah, I think you've got to have. I think if the bidders are there, everybody else has to be pushed right back away. I mean, you can't say to someone you can't stand a public street, but certainly in terms of the actual engaging of the auction, I think it has to remain within the guidelines. Because Daniel Andrews, he's not mucking around. I can tell you now.
I didn't see him in the crowd either.
So just as well, because he might have been the 21st person there.
And
I don't know what he would have done.
If there were more than 20. I'm just suggesting there
may have
but
been,
anyway, I'll tell you what there was. There was multiple bidders, Gary, and the bids were very orderly. I think what's happened with this COVID time is
people behave themselves.
They are.
Oh, yeah, aren't they?
They are. There's
no shenanigans.
People are very polite and very eager to please, and they're in an orderly fashion. And we had a reserve there, I think, of about 520, and before I even knew it, we were at that figure.
Absolutely.
And Gary, I'm pleased to say we smashed that number and sold for $614,000.
Now, that wasn't the only apartment that you sold on the weekend that went well. You were down in St Kilda West as well, on the fair shores of Canterbury Road.
From Elwood to St Kilda West, so I was beach bound the whole weekend.
You were.
And that one was also competitively
483. It's a long way over the reserve.
Reserve 420, Gary.
Fantastic, great result. A few other sales.
3 bidders there as well, Gary.
Is that right?
Good appetite for, and I think there were 1, 2, 3. There were 5 bidders, if not more, at Addison Street.
There you go. So the buyers are out there. If they're good selling, call this man over here, especially as it's St Kilda and surrounds, because he's got buyers at his fingertips. Mitford Street, Elwood, another sale that went very well.
Mitford Street, we sold prior to auction. This is a beautiful older style apartment, 2-bed, 2-bath. Not an ensuite bathroom, but a second bathroom, which is unusual for homes of that calibre. But we sold that prior to auction, Gary, and if I'm not mistaken, it was $845.
It was $845.
Well done to Daniel Mickmacher there, who a Sydney buyer, Gary.
There you go. We don't mind a
Seeing
city
value
block.
and
wasn't
that negotiation fun.
If I didn't go to Sydney, it would never have happened. You know.
I told them that they're lucky they're getting a second bedroom and even a bathroom
Exactly
at
right.
845.
It's a deposit in Sydney, isn't
You
it?
can't
A
even
good
get a car
property.
space for that there.
Pretty much not. Look, I did have the joy, Jeremy, of doing an auction. I don't get to do that many auctions in
you don't get a lot
in
of joy.
Elwood. No, well, that's another story. But I don't get a lot of joy in Elwood and St Kilda and St Kilda West and St Kilda doing auctions because I'm always getting them taken away from me by you. But I did get the pleasure of auctioning 40 Sebastopol Street. A young doctor bought it, actually, Jeremy. A young doctor.
Right.
And that day I did 2 auctions, sold to 2 doctors. I think there's something in that. I'm not sure what it is.
Well, I'm sure
Anyway,
you'll be going possibly now to Western Australia to go and interview doctors and claim that as a tax
Exactly
deduction and have a lovely
I
holiday.
hadn't thought of that, but it's a good idea. Although I don't think they're going to let us in over there. in
Not
Western
you,
Australia, no.
certainly not you.
Well, that's that's something to be on the to-do list. I'll put that one down as a good
Make a
trip.
note.
Anyway, sold for $1,150,000. A
Result.
beautiful
Unusual,
townhouse.
sort of
Yeah,
not your standard.
unusual, unique.
Yes,
I
unique
was
is
going
the
to say
word, not unusual.
unique, but no, it's unique.
Yes.
Great property. Congratulations to the buyer. Been around the market, seen them around for 3 or 4 months, and bought something special. And well done on that one. 2 Horsley Avenue also. Took a little while to sell, but we did sell that. Yes, we weren't the first agent to attempt to sell it, but it did get sold. And the range, I think, was 1.8 to 1.98.
The first agent to successfely sell it.
We were the agent first, and congratulations to the vendor and buyer alike. And it was sold, well, it's undisclosed, but in the range, close to the middle of the range.
Yes.
So
well
that
to
was
Nicky and
sold.
Lee Moore there that put that deal together.
Absolutely.
And you, Gary, you did a little bit of work.
Oh, thanks for that.
bit of
Appreciate it. What's for sale? That's the big question on
It
everyone's
is.
lips. What is for sale
Well,
right now?
My
coming
short
up?
answer is not enough.
Correct.
But my second answer is if you flip that page over,
Yeah,
which
I've
you
done
already
it.
have, Gary,
Yeah.
then you will find out that this weekend or in a couple of days from now, Goulay Street, 8 at 19.
Yep.
The stylish and secure, we're describing it as the penthouse apartment, Gary. This one is a big.
Now, this was interesting because this block was sort of rebuilt pretty much. A few
Yes,
walls were kept.
yes.
And the person that built it was very fastidious about getting it right, wanted to do a fantastic job, and they did. And we've auctioned them one by one because they were all rented out. Now they're all getting sold to people who are living there, a couple of investors as well, maybe, but mostly owner-occupiers.
Yes.
And every auction we've had in that building has
to
been
the chase,
popular.
Gary.
But this one, I think, is the only 2-bedder. I think it may
This is
well
two
be.
better, 2-bath.
Yeah, well, that's great.
This is a ripper and great space, big balcony. This will go well, Gary. And you can see there by that price range of
8 to 8.80. I'm going to be there on Sunday morning auctioning that one, Jeremy.
Good, Gary.
I'm looking forward to it. So I'll have to have an early night Saturday night. I can't just
Gary, you always have an
get up
early
and
night Sunday night.
because on last auction I did in the morning, I just fumbled once or twice, which I don't do very often. I thought, oh, that's not great. Is this it?
You
Is this
couldn't
it?
fumble, Gary.
No,
You're
I
indestructible.
fumbled.
What are you
No,
talking about?
I actually did a fumble, which is very unusual for me. So I'm thinking maybe that's that's sort of twilight years now. I thought I was still young. Yeah,
Well, it's possible that your eyebrow hair got stuck folding into your eye.
I think it might
and you
have.
couldn't
It
see
confused
properly.
me.
It's understandable.
Shall we move on Sunday, Jeremy? I'm going to be out and about auctioning this wonderful 1-bedroom apartment at 1:30 p.m. I have a little break for a few hours.
Do you?
Between 10:30 and 1:30, between Goulay and Balaclava Road. This has got a great floor plan, a great view, and it's a terrific apartment in that low to mid threes.
I'll tell you what I love about this, Gary. The
What?
floor plan, as you say,
Yes.
is perfect because it's not an ensuite bathroom.
Yep.
It's a separate bathroom.
Yeah, it
if
is.
you're a 1-bedroom buyer,
Separate kitchen,
they're the ones you pay
balcony.
a premium for.
Yep.
It's got all the things, all the trimmings that you need, and it ticks all the boxes, Gary.
It has indeed.
Centrally located, just up the road from that hustling and bustling Carlisle Street action.
Another property right in the heart of St Kilda. It's not on a list,
There is,
but
Gary. There's
it's
probably a
for
few.
private sale in Fawkner Street. I really love the look of that house. It's a
That's
great looking home, isn't it?
architecturally
Hasn't yet
designed.
got signed.
That'll be sold, Gary. By the time this airs, it'll be gone.
Excuse
I think
me.
you and I both know that.
Yeah, it should be, but if it hasn't, jump on it. Fawkner Street, great home, beautiful property.
Yes.
Raffy Joffrey been busy selling that one. 9 at 9 the Avenue, Jeremy. That one is at
Windsor, Gary,
1:30
Windsor.
p.m. in Windsor.
Not
yes.
the East St Kilda
There is, I
Avenue.
know.
It is the Windsor Avenue. There's a song about the Avenue, Gary, isn't
Yeah,
there?
Girls on the Avenue. Richard Clapton's song. I'm not going to sing it because I've got bad voice. Richard Clapton. Saw him
All
at
of
the
a sudden,
airport.
you've now acknowledged that
Yeah.
you've got a bad voice, therefore you're not singing. So all the previous episodes where you've blessed us with your dulcet
Is that right?
tones,
Yeah, I'm not going to do it.
they will be erased.
No more sufferance. No, we're going to keep those
How's
on record.
I mean, I don't want to delve into politics here at all,
Okay.
Or religion or anything
Okay.
like that.
No,
but
don't do
there's
that.
a,
Stay
there's a
away from
movement
both.
happening at the moment, and what
Go on.
a political and
Yeah.
something else movement
Yep.
about certain lives, and they're going back in history and they're changing films' names. And
yeah.
I saw last night that they're changing the names of makeup.
Yeah, Fruit Loops.
No,
which they-
forget Revlon or somebody. They're taking off the applicator that is skin colour applicator.
Is that right? It's all. I know the political career has gone out. The Chicos, you know, the little lollies. The
gone are those.
Oh, forget about those.
I
You
used to
call
love
Chicos,
them
you go to
too.
jail.
What are they called now?
I'm not just co's, I think. Just co's.
Can't have chicks.
Chicks
either,
can't
because-
have chicks.
Can't have chicks.
Can't have chicks as well. It's
Anyway, that political statement was made. You know how they talk really quickly.
yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
right.
9 at 9 the Avenue, Gary. Live the lifestyle and the location here, because this is Moments from Chapel Street. This is a good apartment. Also, very similar to that one in Balaclava Road, in that everything is separate. Balcony, separate bathroom, separate.
That's got a
separate
great
bedroom.
floor plan, hasn't
This
it?
has a ripper.
Yep.
Beautiful entry hall. This is going to go well, Gary, at 1:30. Despite you being the auctioneer, it's going to go well.
Actually, you're doing that auction, so if
No,
it,
am I?
no,
Well,
I've got you down here.
There is the answer as to why it will go well.
Is that it?
Better put that in my calendar then, Gary.
Yeah, I think you should. It's not this week. You got a week off. It's the week after this,
Is
Jeremy.
it?
Yeah,
There you
11th. On the 12th, following day,
That's why
Leo
it's on my
Samuel
diary.
comes back to the hood. Where
Yes,
he
his
started
old
his
stomping
career,
ground.
started his career all those years ago at a company that's no longer there. It was called Wilson Pride, but no longer there, gone. But that company did give Leo a great opening into real estate.
They did, Gary.
And he's a great auctioneer. He's coming back to Alma Road. We let him in. We let him
62
cross the border.
Alma.
Yep.
62, number 4 at
4 at 62 Alma Road. 12th
This is a
of
great block.
July.
Had a lot of success here. This has got a very, people don't know, but it's got a rooftop terrace.
I love that.
Beautiful views, Gary. Beautiful views of
apartment.
St Kilda. Just shy of the hill there, but that's a ripper. That one's going to be priced, Gary, in the
in the
range of.
in the range of
I'm going to say like
$550,000 to $600,000.
That's
We
what
got
I
there
was gonna
eventually.
say.
You caught
You
me
know,
off. I was
2
wondering.
beds, 1 bath.
I told you, I've
central.
lost my edge. I think
Yeah.
I'm just about to get there. I think that's it.
It is,
We
'cause you
move on
lack
to
it,
Carlisle.
yes.
We move on to Carlisle
This
Street.
is a very cool looking building, Gary. I like
Michael
the
Jonas.
facade here. It's got a kind of an
I like it
old
too.
world kind of commercial
Yeah.
factory type
Yeah,
setup.
it's got that
opposite
kind
the
of
town
cool
hall.
look. Looks like an old, like sort of like a
a
car
factory?
yard or something. You know, like
Oh,
it
yes,
might have
yes,
been a
yes.
garage. In
Well,
fact,
what
I
it
think
does
must,
have is
yep.
those arched windows that
Yep.
are very popular, made popular by
Cool
Rebecca
place.
Judd and her home.
Yep.
But you'd know all about Rebecca Judd and her Instagram stuff.
Well, I
Anyway,
know-
$590
I
to
know
$640
about,
there, Gary.
I know about the team that her husband used to play for.
Let's not
eh?
talk about Carlton after we've won 2 on the trot
No,
and beat
shouldn't.
some arch rivals there.
Yeah, we
I'm
broke
surprised
that.
you didn't mention it in the sales meeting this week,
Yeah,
Gary,
I
about
know.
Carlton beating Essendon.
I did mention it. You might have been a bit late to tune in.
Must have been
but
late.
Yeah.
Must have been
don't
late.
worry, it
Because
didn't
I
go
was
past.
still tooting the
Didn't
horn
go
about
past,
how
yeah,
wonderful we went.
exactly right,
Anyway,
yeah.
Michael Jonas is selling this apartment. This is a ripper. This is the second one in the block. This is a great floor plan. This is a good apartment. 2 bed, 1 bath, courtyard garden, balcony, terrace, the whole thing. Tick it off. That one's a beauty. Speaking of beauties, Gary, you've got to revel.
Good looking home.
You've got to revel in the originality of this home.
Yeah, or reinvent it.
Because, pardon me, Gary, I very rarely get those problems there. The old
Keep your
COVID
social
cough, as we
distancing
say.
close, yep.
Yes, well, we haven't been great with the social distancing.
Well, we can't get on camera if we're too far apart. It's a problem.
Well, off you go, mate.
Yeah, fair enough.
Off you go.
Hop out of camera
Wouldn't
here.
be the worst.
Look a bit strange.
Wouldn't be the worst thing to happen here today.
I could
would
do it.
folks?
I could do it. You know, I could just walk out of camera a little bit and just have a little bit left. It's a bit
no
weird.
problems. No,
How
I'll
weird
just-
is
I'll
that?
just
It's going to
take
come
on
across very
screen.
strange. Go
I've
on.
always wanted to do this on my own.
3
Gary,
Cardigan
3 Cardigan
Street.
Street, Gary. This is a good home in a great location. 2 bedrooms, easy to live in. Very livable floor plan here, Gary. The single-fronted nature there. This will be good. Good size block of land. Plenty of room out the back if you want to extend and renovate.
Good looking home.
As they say, remember that old heading? Save me, pave me, thrill me, drill me. For renovators' delights.
You haven't used that anywhere in your single days, have
Well,
you?
it's been a
Bit
while.
concerned
Gary.
about that.
It's been a while.
We'll leave it there. Let's just move on to the Addison, Kilda, Clyde Street, 10 of 52.
We had this
Clyde
open
Street,
on
great
the
spot.
weekend, Gary. Lots of people around for this
Yep.
apartment. This must be
Hot spot.
It must be selling something else out of this place with the number of people here. 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car in Clyde Street. Difficult to get a car space in Clyde Street, but you've got it here with this home.
Should have charged admission, Jeremy. We have got
We
a
should.
buzzing, that's a great property, Clyde Street. We've got a buzzing, humming, exciting, wonderful apartment in an older style boutique, small block, just near the beach in Robe Street. And Daniel Mickmucker, he's a Robe Street legend, isn't
I
he?
love this block, Gary.
Me
This
too.
is one of the most attractive looking blocks.
Sure is.
And every time you go there,
Yep.
you pull the values down because you're like a sore thumb on a beautiful. It's such a good. I mean, have a look how good looking that block is.
Yeah.
And when you go and do an auction there, you just drag the whole thing down.
Last auction I did there,
Yeah,
I
you
don't know, I
didn't
think
do
it
too
was, it was
badly.
about 300,000 over reserve. It went completely, insanely
When you get
crazy.
vendors
Yeah.
that give you great reserves, Gary. Mind you, I think as much as you want to say that result was because of you, I think
Yep.
what the vendors did do is
Yep.
they presented it magnificently.
They did present it well.
They chose St Kilda, if not the Greater Melbourne's best agency, and Daniel Miffmucker there
Who's gonna argue
created
that,
that. And without taking it all away from you, when the midfield pushes the ball up the ground
Yeah, you gotta kick it.
And
You
the
gotta
guy
kick it,
kicks the goal from 2 metres in front, Eddie Betts style.
Yeah.
You don't get awards for that, mate. Sorry.
Still, the goal is done. The goal is still goes on the scoreboard, and there's not enough room on the scoreboard for comments. Don't forget that. Well done to the developer and to the.
We just call them vendors.
The vendor, yeah. Well, because they did develop and change. It does development.
Yes, he does.
It's a beautiful property. Come and have a look at that.
Great supporters of our company
Speak to Daniel
You
Mitmacher.
can speak to me too.
But if you want to speak to someone who knows what's going on, speak to Daniel Mitmacher, 483 Robe Street, coming up soon.
Excited about that one, Gary.
A great apartment. Looking forward to that. Well priced and will go well. I'm sure of it. That's a bit of a wrap there, Jeremy. What's going on in St Kilda and Bayside?
There's a lot we couldn't fit in too.
I know. Well, we don't want to go on all day because we want to make sure the 3 or 4 people that are watching stay here right till the end. But that's a big
Shout out to my mum. Well.
She's one of those 3 people. Your wife, mum, and 2 kids. Is that it?
My wife's going to watch this rubbish.
Fair enough. Okay. Either kid? No, just your mum. Fair enough.
My son will probably have a cursory glance just to check that we haven't said anything that's untoward.
Yes, fair enough.
He likes to he's like the fun police on this show.
Absolutely. Very good.
Pull us up.
That's a big wrap on the St Kilda and Bayside report. Buyers are buyers, selling are selling, agents are in there hustling around, still making things happen. It's an unusual time, but things are happening and properties are selling and the prices are holding up okay. If you want to sell, and if you want to sell this year, better speak to us because we're the calendar is
crazy,
the second half of 2020 already. So if you want some of the 2020 action as a vendor, call this man for St Kilda and Bayside or me, and we're looking forward to helping you out in 2020. It's a big wrap on the report. I'm Gary Peer.
Thanks for watching. I'm Jeremy. We'll see you next time.